And welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. I'm Fleet Admiral Tarek of the Battle Cruiser Jesus Protector as we continue our campaign against the Klingon Star Empire. And last time, well, we have identified what is most likely the last two Klingon planets, and the Klingon Empire has shrunk rather considerably. There's not a whole heck of a lot left, although what is left is going to be one heck of a tough nut to crack. So with that in mind, let us set out into space and see if we can't just continue to siege the crap out of the remaining Klingon planets. So immediately going to pick up our first mission of the day, a planetary assault. The perfect style of mission for a heavy bombardment cruiser. We do it quite well, mainly because our plasma torpedo armament is absolutely ridiculous. So alert, and let's increase the speed. Actually, let's overload all the weapon systems and decrease the speed, because you know what? This thing hits like a truck, and I love it. Anyway, we're being escorted today by the USS MacArthur, which is apparently a luxury cruiser that has been modified for war work, in that it has a single missile launcher and a pair of light phasers, as well as the USS Delta, a DNL, which the DNL never has any sort of updated like ship design. They just stick with the base normal version. So it's one of the few ships in this game that maintains, even into the advanced era, the old cigar style nacelles. Squaring up against this, however, is a DWD. This would be a D5 with an additional nacelle underneath the center line. That gives them more power, but more importantly, he also has a ton of missiles and a PL-14, which is completely undefended and easy to annihilate. Perfect. Now, I do anticipate there'll be at least one more ship over here, although that's not a guarantee, and it's been quite some time, and they haven't seemed to show up just yet. So let's kick on the forward shields to maximum reinforcement, although, okay, good. Thought for a moment I had all the other reinforcements selected, but we did not. Let's also come over here and make sure that we're targeting the DWD and show me Le Tractor Beam and activate it. This, of course, will be our cutting blow with secret weapon that will annihilate the enemy in quite stunning fashion, actually. He's not going to quite know what he hits him, or maybe he will. After all, I can't imagine that we've killed everybody on every ship we've ever fought, just most of them. So it does look like he is well and truly alone. Oh, how unfortunate for you, sir. So being the only Klingon vessel currently defending this undefended planet, he's about to have a bad day. Ooh, wow, that was at least, what, I believe he's got 5 photon torpedoes, so that means he hit 4 times. Oh boy, that is impressive. Although he shot it at me instead of, you know, useful things. And so he's dead now. Goodbye. And crunch the mine. There we go. Cleaning up space is important. We want to avoid just making a disaster area out of our entire spatial zone. We're going to slow down a little bit, just sort of chug to the planet. We need to recharge most of our systems. So now that the phaser capacitor is charged, we can leap on forward towards the planet itself. Great thing about planets, they can't actually defend themselves. That's actually one of the biggest reasons why the shipyard assault missions can be so gosh darn annoying, because the shipyards can actually launch Wild Weasel shuttles, which kind of ruins our entire day, whereas planets can't. They also don't move or rotate or really have anything going for them other than the fact that certain planets can be equipped with truly ridiculous amounts of weaponry. Not this planet, though. This planet is completely undefended, aside from 8 phaser 3s. Getting nice hits on there from the proximity photon torpedoes as we sort of cruise into range. Plasma torpedoes enveloping, open fire. We should be close enough to get the maximum damage. And we've broken most of the planet. Let's come into a stop before we actually crash into the planet. We got way closer than I intended. So R-35 Marines versus their 2. They had more than that, but phaser fire kind of took care of all of that. So a nice little successful mission already in the bag. We will have this planet captured very shortly as we... we couldn't glance for too long at the beauty that is the DNL. After all, the planet got in the way. It's a jealous girlfriend, clearly, that we're about to capture. So now that we've got... There we go. Perfect. So the Gorn have successfully invaded the Klingon planet and have brought it to us, although I believe it has an Empire defense of like 65, so we're going to be here a little while. And then we have another planet to bombard. And then, of course, there's the station, which could get incredibly ugly. 495 prestige is our reward. Empire defense is down to 53. Not bad at all. We're going to go see if we can't clear out a couple more light tiles. MET temperature. More interesting than a surprise reversed, although, well, no, surprise reverses are pretty boring. Let's be very honest. They pay out good, and they're nice missions to sort of get under your belt for advanced experience and the like, but they're not really all that, well, entertaining. Except as a weapons test system. After all, you can just sort of go in and experiment with what sort of weapon systems you think should be the best. Anyway, today we're being escorted by the USS Washington, which is a heavy war destroyer, as well as the light dreadnought, the MacArthur again. So we're currently traveling with the MacArthur. We see a DXD off way in the distance. So that appears to be just a standard D7 with some sort of advanced technology, and a G2C, which is a gunboat, of course, a little tiny frigate that is basically a bird of prey, and mostly ignorable. The bird of prey, I believe, is the E3Y, because it has the photon torpedoes. That's the difference, if you were ever quite wondering which one was the bird of prey. It's the one with the photon torpedoes. Which one is that? I believe the E3Y or EY3. One of those combinations. E is in the first, though, because, you know, it's an escort vessel, and the Klingons are big about E's and escorts, and D's for destroyers, I assume? I have no idea, actually. So G is gunboat, E is escort, and then you've got the E7, so maybe it's like a super escort, but the E7's a really trashed line of vessel anyway. Then you've got the D7s, which are kind of their standard heavy, well, kind of, they are their heavier standard heavy cruisers. And then you've got the C7s, and the C7s are, well, yeah, they're the battle cruisers. But the C7s go to the C5s, which are light dreadnoughts. And then there's C8s, which I believe are carriers, C9s, which are also medium-ish dreadnoughts, and also carriers. Then it goes to B10 for the battleship, and then from B10 to B11 super battleship. I think I've got that right. I think I have recounted my Klingon facts today. Okay, we got a BC8, so we're just going to slow on down so that we can get our systems charging even more, so that we can actually deal with this heavy battle cruiser. So we're going to turn along at a nice slow speed, no reason to go any faster. We have a nice powerful protective forward, and besides, at this point, I think the Washington might have him. Okay, maybe not. If the Washington has lost his forward shield, then perhaps not. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. Ooh, bounced right off our forward shield. Lucky for us, he's only packing Type 1 drones, and Type 1 drones only deal 12 damage. I've got 24 points of power in that forward shield. I don't really care what you're going to throw my way. So let's increase the speed of the ship and also turn on the tractor beam. And we're going to chase this guy down and basically brutally murder him with plasma. It's kind of what we do, sort of our job, more or less. I really don't know who's winning this fight, and I kind of think it's still the Washington, especially now that the MacArthur's got in on this. Hi, buddy. You are mine. Oh, that's beautiful. Just gorgeous. And taken care of in one titanic volley of plasma. Seriously, this is the reason why I say whoever brought the most plasma to the fight probably won. Number of launchers, number of ships, that's the important numbers. Also, especially if you can bait out plasma launches. 272 prestige as a reward and a neutralized tile. Not bad. We might be able to get them all separated from each other so they can't help each other at all. That would, of course, be the goal. Shipyard assault, of course, something that we're going to have to do. Our ship is a little bit dented. We need to keep that in mind. 2 dreadnoughts could actually be pretty rough on us, and I do believe our ship is just a little tiny merchant ship. Yeah, it's the MacArthur in different clothes. Again, overload all weapon systems. We're going to need it. Got a C8 and a C5. So the C8, I believe, is the carrier, but the C5 is a light dreadnought. Should be able to handle him. C8 is going to be a little bit difficult. I think what we're going to want to do is the one-pass haul-ass technique. So we're going to run right on into him, tractor him, hit him with the plasma, let him blow up, fly right on through, and not slow down for a second. Because if we do that, we should be able to stay away from the guns that the C5 is going to bring to bear. I think I can bring enough firepower in order to actually break him. But no guarantees. Alright, so we're going to reinforce the forward shield. Of course, tells us how much power we have in a little bit more of a convenient fashion so that I can steal from the shield budget and not feel guilty about it. Alright, there we go. Increases the speed of time. Plasma torpedoes, with any luck, are going to be ready before we actually make it to him. I think the C8 should survive. Also, the C8 should be launching fighters at any moment now if he's actually the carrier I believe him to be. Oh, he's not! Huh, interesting, okay. And the C5 also does not appear to be launching fighters, which is no guarantee by itself. But we're going to find out. Plasma torpedoes about to be ready, and one more tick, and they're ready to rock and roll. Hi, buddy. Enjoy my gift to you. And let him go, let him go, let him go, let him go! And hit him with the phasers. More Gatling phasers? Aha, we got him. That was my hope and my dreams. Okay, so on to you. They are Romulan fleet repair docks, and the Romulan fleet repair dock, of course, is equipped with ludicrous amounts of firepower. We're going to head away from this guy, even though he's cruising at 31. Jeez. I hope he slows down sometime soon, because we're going to be in trouble if he's just going to be able to maintain that pace this entire time. I can't very well charge all my weapons if I'm running at maximum pace, which I may end up having to do. Do I need to drop a mine? Shortly. It depends on which direction he commits to, because I don't really know which way he's really going. This is not the best turn angle for us. After all, our starboard shields are better than our port side shields at the moment, but I'll take it. Okay, we have enough power to start charging all of our plasma torpedoes. We just need 3 turns to do it in. So MacArthur, good luck. You're gonna need it. I mean, he's only a C5, but still, you're gonna need it. C5 Light Dreadnought is equipped with a whole bunch of missile launchers. By a whole bunch, I mean, of course, 5. He's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 Phaser X's and 4 Phaser 3s, which, hey, I actually beat him in Phaser armament. I've got 10 Phaser X's and 2 Phaser G's, which are way better than 4 Phaser 3s. 4 Phaser 3s is a single G, so I double his basic Phaser 3 firepower. I'm just going to sort of dart around at high speeds and not really worry. And I match his phasers. I think my plasma torpedoes are a little bit better than his disruptors, of which he has 5. The 5 disruptors, of course, tell me that he is a light dreadnought because of the exact same reason why our DNL, well, the Federation DNL, has exactly 5 photon torpedoes. That's what they can cram into a ship that has the large enough engine to zip around at a speed of 31, which is absolutely ludicrous. I don't mean the rapper. So let's just keep coming around and see if we can't continue to distract him for a little while. Depends on what he wants to do. If he wants to commit to emotion, I can do some interesting stuff to him. Oh, are you going to go to the outside? He is going to go to the outside, so I'm going to go to the inside then. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Looks like the fleet repair docks are in range and they want to start getting irritating. They're holding aggressive. Okay, so it's time for us to rock and roll. Our plasma torpedo armament is just about ready to kill, and so we need to start charging systems. We could do a high energy turn, immediately snap this sucker around, hit him with a massive amount of plasma, and you know what? That idea is actually enticing to me. Start slowing down. Let's commit to the bit. Give me some more forward shield firepower. We're gonna need it, because he's gonna hit us like a truck with all those phasers. It's just facts and reality. Hopefully the forward shield will hold, but I can't guarantee anything. 3, 2, 2.5, 1.0. Hi, enjoy. His shields are down. Commence attack on the main reactor. Got him. Got him loose. Thank you, MacArthur, with the save. Being badass. Okay, I'm going to give MacArthur a huge assist on that one because he came in right when we needed to be saved from the plasma. It was beautiful on so very many levels. Alright, so we've taken out 2 of the dreadnoughts. Now we can start chugging along towards the starbases. Now, them, of course, being Romulan fleet repair docks, they have the capability of launching plasma torpedoes, as they have done so right now. That was that little green ball of light. The problem is, they only have plasma F torpedoes, which are tiny and short-ranged, and while they do deal 20 damage, which is actually kind of scary, it's not something to really be worried about. If you just want to sit back, relax, calm down, maybe get a mimosa or something, we'll have a good time with it. Just chill. Our forward shield is more than capable of handling any sort of amount of firepower that he can dish out. So that just makes our life extra easy. And if we want to be really cheeky, what we can do is sit in a range of 10 and watch and laugh as his plasma torpedo just bounces harmlessly off the forward shield. It's going to be kind of sad, actually. Start to slow down. Let us commence engagement at a range of about... now. Pew! And there he goes, the Wild Weasel. He's terrified of the amount of damage he would have taken. Wait for it to stop blinking. It has stopped blinking. And he's dead. And that's how you do that. Now we're just going to chug along to this one, then we're going to turn around and chug along to the next one. It's going to be a thing, I suppose. Unfortunately, the MacArthur has decided he wants to get involved in this combat, and this station probably could actually kill the MacArthur. It is a sad but true reality. Pardon me. So we're just going to get in nice and close, another half turn, well, 1.5 turns before our plasma torpedoes are actually ready to murderize, and we're actually within range, so engage. I think I can time this properly. Ooh, it's a chase. So wait for it to stop blinking, wiggle waggle, and die please. Another one bites the dust. And now on to the final. So we have tons of power, which we will steal most of that out of the shield budget. After all, we don't need too much, although it's very lucky that we haven't actually gotten a penetrating hit. The problem with our ship at the moment happens to be that we probably don't have any armor. We've been hit, it's bad, and oh, he's cloaking and decloaking, because of course, that's exactly what we wanted to see. The most annoying technique that the Romulans have at their disposal. Fire the plasma! And wait for it, slow way down. 3, 2, 1, and... Aha! My plasma is bigger than your plasma. You can't stop me. Alright, so we've managed to annihilate another Stardock. Excellent job, everybody. Round of applause. After all, we managed to destroy it without taking any major penetrating hits, and both of them were dreadnoughts. Light dreadnoughts to be sure, but both of them were still dreadnoughts. 450 prestige is our reward for a job well done, down to an Empire Defense of 48. We're going to pop over here, see if we can't truly isolate this planet, make them feel the burn. And we have located another station off here in the corner. So I'm really getting the feeling this is the last 2 planets and 2 stations, maybe a 3rd station. Could be. We'll find out. If it is, then prepare for attack. And we're being escorted today by the Cougar, who is, laughable. I'm sorry, but okay, it's not that terrible. He does have 2 fusion cannons. 2 fusion cannons and 2 phaser X's is not the worst armament in the absolute world you could ever get to, because, well, there are several other ships in this game that I will not name for the sake of people who actually enjoy them and think that they're good vessels. You're wrong, but, okay. Get the forward shield reinforced in such a way that we can have a lot of fun with it and continue to chug along. And a little bit more power into the forward shield. Thank you. Give me all the stuff so I can blow people up. Ooh, I actually don't have the power. It's a C9 Dreadnought. You don't say. Okay, now we can start stealing from the shield budget while we charge up all the other weapons. And while we charge up all the other weapons and zip along towards, I just want to briefly mention that we have received a lot of support lately about our TNG mod. Honestly, the streams for Starfleet Command have been rivaling those of Battletech, which has been absolutely blowing my mind because, you know, that did not used to happen, and I think that's really cool, and I'm very thankful for all the people who are fans of Star Trek who have tuned in to watch them. We are making progress. It is slow, it is steady, and a lot of it is sort of under the hood as we tackle this size problem, but I hope that eventually we can show you some amazing things once we start working on the Klingon fleet, because they are, of course, our current enemies in the stream campaign that we are currently running. So once we get the size problem fully ironed out, I'm going to start building up the Klingon fleet, and I'll do so in the more intelligent way rather than the sort of skip to the end method that we used with the Federation, where we basically threw in all the ships we wanted and could, and then realized that there was a sizing problem. So with the Klingon ships, we're going to go a little bit slower, more methodically, and just one by one put in the systems that we require in order to make sure everything makes sense size-wise. And with that in mind, actually, it has been something that I've been wondering about, is what to do with the Vorchon. Because I'm not quite sure where to put it on just the list of Klingon vessels, because it seems like it would be the replacement. I think I'm talking about the right ship. Oh god, I hope I'm talking about the right ship. But the Vorchon being the heavy cruiser from Deep Space Nine, pretty much, which sort of a replacement for the D7. The thing is, do I put it as a replacement for all D7s, or do I put it as a battle cruiser? That's the thing that's really been bugging me, because one of the things I had been considering was, I'll sneak in a Bird of Prey, which is already in-game, a Katinga, which is already in-game, the Vorcha, and the Negvar. And then if we see them in the stream, I can say, oh, look at that, and just as a preview. But then I got to actually seriously considering it. I was like, does it really fit in this location? And if so, why? So, just something we've been thinking about. If you want to help out, maybe put your thoughts in the comments below on where you think it actually belongs in the tech tree. And then eventually when Phase 2 comes out, we're just going to ignore all of that, and we're going to build the best gosh darned the next generation version of this game we possibly can, where every ship will be much more canon-like. We're being escorted today by the USS Sydney, an excellent ship. It is a Federation heavy bombardment cruiser. It is equipped with no less than 8? I thought it was 8. Could have sworn it was, yeah, 8 heavy photon torpedoes. The problem is 2 of them shoot backwards. Like, that's the dumbest thing ever about that ship. There's nothing I can do about it, but it does have 2 photon torpedoes. Heavy photon torpedoes, no less, that only shoot in the backwards direction. I cannot help but just cry about that vessel, because it could have been so good. Can you imagine 8 heavy photon torpedoes all facing forward? That is, in essence, 16 photon torpedoes aimed in one direction. That is amazing, and the game doesn't... Holy crap, such good gunnery. And I want you to keep in mind that this is an X ship. He had, well, maximum blue shields all around. So, from long range, using proximity photon torpedoes, he ripped through the guy's entire shield. That is madly impressive. And also now he's just taking incredible amounts of damage as we come in. We're going to let him go. That's the wrong button. I didn't mean to do attempt to transport. Oh, thank you. You saved me the trouble of a click. Oh, my forward shield almost dead, but you know what? It's still here, buddy. And you're not. Okay, so we dealt with the heavy mobile cruiser. Now onto the DXD, who is smiling so wide. And we're going to start moving away from him. Oh, Disruptor's causing quite a bit of damage to our shields. We're going to keep on spinning and allow him to sort of play against the mine over there while we sort of try to charge up our weapon systems. It would be really nice if the Sydney got involved, although I suppose I can understand the Sydney's in a recharge phase at the moment, which is a little bit of a problem. Oh, nice shots. Unfortunately, most of those missed, so not quite as nice as I thought they were about to be, because it looked really cool. And then you kind of ruined it because it wasn't really as good as it should have been. Lashing out with our Gatling phasers, hoping desperately trying to spread out the damage across the entire ship. This is a PLPH, so that we're going to be fighting eventually. So that's going to be painful on several levels. Point range plasma torpedoes, please. It did hurt us, but it was worth it. Totally worth it. I'm basically trimming my own shields at this point. But totally worth it, because look at that. Oh, I think he's dead. I think this Sydney has him very much dead to rights. Oh, never mind. I take that totally back. He's... never mind. The Sydney's got him. Good job, Sydney. Alright, time to target a PLPH. Now, this is a particularly nasty PLPH, as this PLPH is the ring planet, which has a habit of killing friendly ships nearby. Look at that. The Sydney is basically full health, and we are just battered. Just goes to show who does the real heavy lifting around here. Yeah, this planet has been known to annihilate friendly vessels that are attempting to protect it, which is more than a little amusing on several levels, I find. It makes matches somewhat easier than they otherwise should be. But we shall conquer this planet by conquering, well, the rings, probably. Although it also looks like we're getting way closer than we actually are, which is always really creepy and weird. I wish I could just turn those 2 photon torpedoes around. If you could do that, the Federation Heavy Bombardment Cruiser would be amazing. 8 forward-firing heavy photon torpedoes. That is just... oh, crap. This is not the planet to do this with. Break the forward shield. Break the forward shield. The forward shield's not broken. I don't dare fire anything. Hit the reverse. That was my problem. Hit the accelerator. Just full power. Turned me away. Shield reinforcement. Half shields. If you don't mind. We mind because they don't exist anymore. See if we can't get a little distance. Give me... not this. This. There we go. Give me some shield reinforcement. Oh, shield reinforcement came in just in time. We have a little bit of shield. Alright, so we can get out here and then we can slow down. Alright, now that we've slowed down, we'll wait for him to fire again. And actually shields. Shield reinforcement. That button there. To this, and reinforce that. And switch to the forward shield before... there we go. And now we can do this properly. Yeah, we sort of engaged this planet as if this were a weak planet. It is not, and we needed to be reminded of that. And, well, we lost power and weapon systems, and it's not great. But hey, we should be able to handle this. More plasma! Enjoy. We're going to shoot from a little bit further out, just for safety. We're going to stop at a distance of about 15. That's the goal. But hey, if we can make him hurt, then that's not a terrible thing at all. Although I am impressed he managed to survive like 73 damage, I think we calculated it out to be, on the forward shield without losing it. So that just kind of goes to show how powerful a planet can be. We're just going to all stop here and get ready with the plasma torpedoes as we just annihilate him entirely and completely, I hope. The thing that I always get confused with, and I'm not sure why, is the difference between the Vorcha and the other V1. It's the bird of prey, except the wings are elevated and it's practically the size of a galaxy. The Cohort, that's it. The Vorcha and the Cohort, I tend to get confused. Not that I mistake the Vorcha as the Cohort, but the Cohort as the Vorcha. Yeah, I know, I'm just rambling and speaking random words that quite a few of the population would not quite understand. But I figure most of you will, because, well, we're all Star Trek fans here, or at least we're strategy game fans here. That'll work too. If you're just here because you enjoy great strategy games, welcome. This is a place for you to enjoy. And send the probe. Probe fired! I love how he says it. The Gorn, they get some of the better voices in the game. And then we're just going to get within our special range of 5.99 so that we can beam in Marines as it becomes convenient. I think we've got this mostly handled. I'm going to just start engaging. Marines, how many people are you fighting to? Send to the Marines. Shoot. Shoot again, just in case, to keep him off his toes. And there we go. That should lead to a full conquering of the planet. I don't think they can resist me at this point. They can try, but I think they'll fail. But yeah, that was a little bit closer than I otherwise would prefer it to be. We took a hit on through the shields, lost a couple of ship systems, but you know what? It's a tough little ship. And we have more than enough weapon systems in order to actually repair everything. Well, spare parts. Excellent. So the system 8X12Y has been conquered once again. Of course, it's just reducing its empire defense, but we're getting closer. And once we get that all the way down, we'll be able to conquer it properly. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tarek. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I upload one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.